So, you have an interest in Yu-Gi-Oh, don't you? You may have seen the anime, read the manga, or seen people actually duel and thought, hey, that looks neat. But if you don't have enough money to actually get into the game, or you just don't know where to start, I can help you with that. This is an introduction to Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, keep in mind that there are some things that I'm not the best at explaining, but I'll guide you through the basics. Now, I think that where I should start is the types of cards that you'll encounter most often. The three most basic types. I should have prepared this ahead of time. Here we are. The three most basic types. The monster cards. These cards make up the entirety of many people's decks. You can attack with them, defend with them, and use their special abilities. And depending on the level, usually the ones with the higher level are stronger than the ones with the lower level. But that's not always the case. You got spell cards, which allow you to use a variety of effects, like inflicting damage, bringing back monsters, adding cards to your hand, etc. And these come in different subcategories too, but I'm not going to get in there right now. And finally, we have the trap cards. These aren't really played in the meta, but these cards, with these cards, you can just set them, and then when your opponent is least expecting it, you can activate them and let them have a little nasty surprise. Now, when you hear people say, "Oh, but this all goes over my head," it's actually for good reason. Because there's a lot that goes into this game. And a lot of people, they just can't handle all the information that they have to take in. And that's saying nothing of the different summoning methods. Now, you think that summoning normal monsters is the only one? Then you've got another thing coming. First, we've got the classic summoning method, fusion. With this, you can use a fusion spell like polymerization or something else to fusion summon it by sending materials to the graveyard, or even by banishing them entirely. There's my favorite method, synchro summoning. You use a special monster known as a tuner monster, and a non-tuner monster whose stars equal the level of the monster that you're summoning. And since the stars are so small, it's normally, if you don't really see them, you normally miscount. So it takes a little get used to. Then there's Xyz summoning. With these, you just have to stack two monsters with the same level on top of one another, two or more monsters whose levels equal the same monsters, the Xyz monsters' ranks. Now, ranks are different than levels. They don't And exceeds monster's rank doesn't count for a level, so it's a whole other can of worms. Then there's the extra deck, the newest extra deck summoning method, which also counts as the final one, link summoning. And a lot of people don't like this because, well, because it became a sort of roadblock for quite a while. These cards don't have defense points, the points you use when a monster is defending, and they can't exist in defense mode. Instead, they have these link arrows and a link rating. Generally, the higher the link rating, the more powerful the monster is. Alongside all these summoning methods, there's one other summoning method. And it's actually more simple than you'd think. Hold on, just let me look through my deck for the right cards to show you. Here it is. Pendulum cards. Now, this is a doozy because pendulum cards can exist on the field as monsters or spells. When being used as a spell, they can normally use their own effects, but some pendulum monsters don't have effects. Like the Magispectors, they don't have any pendulum effects, which count as their little spell effects. And when you play these as monsters and they're destroyed, they don't go to the graveyard, which is like going to the grave or something. Like I said, I'm not good at explaining this. Instead, they go face up in the extra deck, where all the other extra deck monsters are. And when you have 2 pendulum monsters set active in both of your pendulum zones, which are located in the spell and trap zones, you can use their own method of pendulum summoning. That means you can special summon from your hand as many monsters whose levels are between the pendulum monster scales. And you can even pendulum summon one monster from your extra deck face up to your extra monster zone, or to a zone that a link monster points to. It all stems back to pendulums being a little overpowered back in the day, but whatever. Anyway, those are the type of cards that you'll encounter. But there is a lot more to this game than you will ever expect. There technically is one more summoning method that's there, but depending on the person, you may not even encounter it. And this is ritual summoning. You use a ritual spell to bring out the ritual monster in your hand by paying the cost. This is normally written on the ritual spell card, so you don't really have to worry about that. Anyway, that about covers it for the bare bones basics. Now, if you want me to teach you about the different types of cards, just let me know. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, that sort of stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye.